divine authority of the Templar, you are hereby exiled to the forsaken shores of Reklast. You have transgressed against God and consorted with sin. Find your redemption, Exile, or die in the attempt. Swift and silent, you stole the bounty of others. A crow that plunders our crops. A stray dog that slaughters our sheep. Oriath is a land of men, not animals. Think on that, Ranger, when Reklast shows you how to truly live like an animal.
I've not seen a wilderness like this before. There'll be some dark days ahead.
You and I, we're the only ones that made it to shore. Alive, anyway. Looks like you found something you can defend yourself with. Good. This place is crawling with criminals. There's smoke rising just east of here. Could be worth checking if it's...
My mana is gone. Still breathing, that's a good sign.
Joy of Kimbe, you have transgressed against your God and your fellow man. You have been a willing vessel for the following sins. Civil envy, 1 count of harboring a sentenced exile. God has charged me with your redemption. You are hereby exiled to Rayclast, where it is hoped you shall come to repent your sins and make your peace with your beloved father.
I've seen you before, back in Oriath, running like a frightened rabbit from my father and his gameskeepers. Fleet as a fox you were, even with that leg of prize venison over your shoulder. And from what I saw you do to Hillock, you've grown even faster since then. I'm Nessa, and I suppose I should thank you for ridding us of that putrid giant. I hope your speed never fails you, Ranger. It's all that stands between you and death here in Rayclast. Lion Eye's watch isn't much, but it's ours. We could use you here, while you live. But should you wish to venture out, do just one thing for me. Out on the coast, amongst the wrecks, there must be a ship's medicine chest. I have many to care for, and there's only so much I can do with herbs and seawater.
A ravishing ranger. There's an island. Poor narrow.
Fine work with you. Found it. It's that necessary. I've seen.
I witnessed your battle against Hillock. I wasn't aware your people had such abilities. My name is Johan, and I'm from the Far East. My people, the Kalgurans, are attempting to build a settlement near here. We could use someone with your talents. You know the land, you know the dangers. Will you join us? I'll await your answer in King's March. I witnessed your battle. You don't appear to employ the power of runes, like we Kalgurans do. I'm very curious how you accomplished what you did. I see that you have upon your person one of those so-called virtue gems, but Nessa allowed me to borrow one, and it did nothing as far as I could determine. Several of our people were already here in Rayclast, undertaking expeditions of their own. When their outpost reached a certain size, the king, in his great wisdom, gifted them an official charter and a name. I was sent to aid in the execution and management of that charter. I serve as the king's hand. I am from Kalgur, on the continent of Middengard. We have reached Rayclast by ship. The journey was quite long and quite dangerous. Eventually we may be able to open trade with Kalgur, but for now, we are on our own.
There you are.
met. I don't know how it's seen on Rayclast, but smithing is something of a fine art back home. We smiths aren't priests, not by a long shot, but we do study the science of runes and the philosophies of meaning and will. That education allowed me to forge myself, much the same way I would a sword. A man makes his own destiny. Runes are just another tool in that glorious struggle. I am the only runesmith this side of the sea, so the best thing I can do for Kingsmarch is lend it my skills. Runes are a complex science and a delicate art. If a smith doesn't understand their nuance, they'll only produce equipment one might call cursed. For that reason, novice runesmiths are rather dangerous. There is an energy in runelight, and power in verisium and other metals. Runes channel those forces, like signposts or diversions altering a river's flow. The final meaning is the sum of what you've engraved. It means exactly what you told it to mean, for better or for worse. If you encounter any verisium, do bring it to me. It is the most effective of all rune-smithing metals. It doesn't occur naturally in the ground. It only falls from the sky. The how and why of such events, I'll leave up to the priests and their calculations.
I'm glad you decided to join us. I hesitate to call you Exile, for we are all exiles in this foreign land. As the King's Hand, I serve as Treasurer of Kingsmarch. Come to me for all financial and resource management matters. We have contracted Captain Faustus of the Fair Marilene for ties to the markets of Rayclast. Speak to him next. I am certain we will all be working together very closely. You don't appear. Several of our people. I am from Kalgur, on the continent of... A reckoning is coming, have no doubt about that. The king has his eye on Rayclast, and he lays far-reaching plans.
Far too much
Only
money
time will tell.
passes through hands that aren't mine.
I make no secret that I'm a man of two loyalties. I must serve the king's wishes, and I must also serve this charter to the letter of the law. I'm aware that Kingsmarch is a destination for many that would be considered less than upstanding citizens. So long as I directly see no evidence of crime, sedition, or another rebellion, there is no conflict of interest. Kindly do not discuss your thoughts in my presence. I choose not to waste resources on a gilded office. It is here, in the tavern, where drink and loose talk best meet. My presence may, hopefully, keep any dangerous talk to the shadows, where it belongs. We have contracted Captain Faustus of the...
Hail, as these Kalgurans say. You've just met your most important ally in this strange new town. I am Faustus, the captain of the Fair Marilene. Consider me your access to the wealth of Rayclast. There's not a single market I can't reach. You've got currency, they've got currency, and thus I shall be your most esteemed facilitator, for a small fee, of course. Well, as I understand it, the Kalgurans we see here are not, how to put this delicately, not the finest wines in the cellar. Some of them are part of official guilds back on Middengard, but most are dissidents, criminals, and suspected rebels. You are an exile from Oriath, just as they are exiles from Kalgur. If not in name, then in circumstance.
Next, you should familiarize yourself with our recruitment processes. Introduce yourself to Raouf, hire a recruit, and then return to me to discuss placement.
Oh, Johan and Danig brought you on. Don't worry, I'll get all the necessary paperwork shortly. I'm Raouf. The Meridian Free Traders, my guild, send me here to assist in executing the charter. I connect laborers and specialists with those who have available jobs and capital. I've heard you may be making some decisions around here, so we should definitely do business. It's not the most auspicious office I've worked in, but it certainly puts me face to face with the people of Kingsmarch. I consider it an opportunity. Things operate rather loosely here, but back home almost all official business is done through one or more guilds. For example, you cannot simply open up a shop and start selling goods. All designated locations for shops have a process that must be undertaken. There are a set number, and they're all currently licensed to major merchants. Every few years, a new license is created and bid upon by interested parties. Those without the familial wealth to get in on the game, so to speak, may consider moving across the world to new lands where regulations are not so strict. It's the best argument in favor of a move to Kingsmarch. Bring your family. Start a new life.
Hark, what grace have I to live in the time of such a great beauty. Yes, with crimson hair unlike any in Midgard. No, too basic. The hair is nothing compared to the sparkle in her eyes, the spring in her step, the toss of her hair like a stallion in the spring fields. Oh, all right.
Exile.
What can I do for you? What have you got? When we first arrived, we didn't intend for this to be anything permanent. It was more of a supply dump, so we wouldn't have to keep going back to our ship. That was my idea. In the course of our expeditions, we built it up bit by bit. Eventually, it felt something like home. People back in Kalgur became interested in joining us for adventure, opportunity, or freedom. Word must have gotten out, because that's when Johan arrived with the King's Charter. The Charter for Kingsmarch brings many Kalguran laws to Rayclast, including our guild associations and criminal penalties. There is very little enforcement for most of it right now. There are only two things on Rayclast the King seems to truly care about. One of those things is taxes. Ugh. Oh, I like to think I'm a kind man. I mean, don't we all? But these taxes... Oh, I just... No, Rog. Don't let it get to you. The dream is still alive.
Why, hello. What can I do for you? 20 years ago, when I was in my first year, a certain High Templar picked me out of a crowd of Academy engineers. I was taken to the Chief Archon's laboratory, among other staff and guards. That building held a functioning map device, and it was my job to repair and maintain it. Several terrible things happened there. But I learned more high science on that single job than I would have in years at the university. Good thing, too. This place is going to be grand. When that handsome Danig spins his tales about the years to come, I can see it as clearly as I see my inventions in my head. I'd rather be working here than for the Templars any day.
Who's that? A name and a charter might have been stamped on it from afar, but this is our home. When we first arrived on Rayclast, we picked this spot out as a good place to stash some supplies. And now it's going to be a city. If I had it my way, I'd call it, I don't know, Tujen's March or Tujenborg. I'd even take Rogswaith. He deserves a little recognition anyhow. We're still on our grand quest, as Danig would put it. This is just base camp. Of course, the longer I'm here drinking a good beer and relaxing in a bed, the harder it is to get back out there.
That is my name here because I have chosen it. I choose to leave behind that which I was, for it was assigned to me. Forced, not given. Family names are the ties that bind. I'd rather work than stand around gossiping, if that's all right.
Yes, how goes the adventure?
There's a plausible reason to speak to Isla.
Worms will have to wait a bit longer for this meal. You
Khan's canoe struck this sand with the force of destiny. At his beck, the greatest war host in Karui history tamed the wild sea, their canoes coupling with the land one by one. Lion-eyed gemlings met us with shining metal and bold words. Hyri's arrows withered their pride. Khan's axes silenced their despair. Arceus Lion fought bravely to the last. Khan honored him with a place on his belt. Khan has shown Rayclast our Karui strength. Khan will teach Rayclast the Karui way.
Welcome. Still alive, are we?
has removed the eternal stain from this coast. The Empire's citizens decorate our meeting houses with their heads. Our warriors build homes for our families. Our families till the earth, fish the waters, fill the air with song. The card we wave is yet a secret king. Rose gains in pride and power every day. Khan has kept his promise. The time of the Kari has come.
My mana is gone. Nature for you.
merry go.
So, talk.
Got a job? Though they make. That medicine?